Good evening. I am John Harder. I'm here with another episode of a live broadcast for TBC, spreading the wealth of TBC and free energy. My title for tonight is Greed is an Instrument of Enslavement and Death. TBC replaces it with abundance and life. Greed is an instrument of enslavement and death. TBC replaces it with abundance and life. We can so easily look at the world that we live in, especially once we have learned more about it, and we can easily make conclusions that the people behind all the havoc and all the war and all of the killing and the draining of the wealth of the countries and the enslavement and all that, we can very easily get upset about that and feel helpless and angry and or maybe even scared, which is actually even worse. And if we do that, then we are handing the power over to them, and we're setting them on a pedestal, and we're worshiping them. That's basically what we're doing when we are angry at them for uh, doing to us, what they have done. Any time that we put the polarity outside of ourselves, in other words, blaming anything outside of ourselves for something in our life, then we're handing the power over to that entity. If you think that, take a bit of time and think that through, I think it will make perfect sense to you. So let us do a little bit of analyzing here as to what is our title saying. It says that greed is an instrument of enslavement and death. So what is that basically saying? It's basically telling us where we're going. If we as a people don't neutralize the polarity, that feeling that we have by default against them, against the people that are pulling the strings for everything that's going on. And we are, now I forget what my train of thought was. Greed is an instrument of enslavement and death. Yes, it is the instrument that was being used for creating, for pulling all the strings to make happen the world that we now live in. Okay, so there was it was driven by greed. But where does it lead? What their agenda is transhumanism. First of all, uh, genocide. Their agenda is to depopulate the earth to down to a very small number of people, and then use them for experiments to make them half robot and half person and that kind of thing. Uh, I would say that words fail me to describe how ridiculous that is. There is the word stupid does not nearly do justice. Stupidity doesn't nearly do justice to what that is. You know, to what a bizarre. Uh, but now, instead of having anger and self pity and whatever, uh, well up inside inside of us. Excuse me. Let's empower ourselves instead. Let's empower ourselves because, see, here are the odds that we have going for us. Positive energy is thousands of times more powerful than negative. So we already have a huge advantage there. The second thing is that there are very many of us, and there is really only a few of them. And another thing that we have going for us is that many of the people that were working for them are waking up and are realizing that that in order to preserve life, they have to change. They have to change sides. You see, when we when a person wants to win, like let's say you're playing, and if there's two opposite sides, well, the side that has the monopoly, obviously they have to be overcome by their own game. You know what I mean? What I mean is, if they operate on stealth, on deceit and trickery and all of those type of things, well, then so must we, in order to overcome. This is why it's necessary that when we use, uh, like when we are planning, let's say we're planning projects for things that we want to do that help advance our projects and our enabling more people and you know dismantling mounting problems, as it were. Then we have to use tools that will get the job done basically in stealth mode, because we have seen it many times before. There have been many doctors who in the effort of trying to help humanity, which is nothing but a good thing, the next thing they were, as soon as they had helped, a small amount of people and the word got out enough that the elite found out, well, the next thing they'd be floating on the river face down somewhere, or they'd be in a mysterious accident, you know, or they'd be simply be shot or just disappear. Some of them had just disappeared and never, nobody knew what happened to them. You see, we can see that that being out on the open is not going to win. So we realize, I think we can see that we must use the same tools they do. The only difference is that we're doing it for the exact opposite purpose. So otherwise, we are, we're exposing ourselves at a huge risk, which, we would say, well, we're only doing the right thing. So, I mean, why? Yeah, exactly. We're doing the right thing, but we got to remember the people that we're up against, they're not doing the right thing, and they are not about to get interested in doing the right thing. So what was the last part of the title? Well, let's read the whole thing. Greed is an instrument of enslavement and death. TBC replaces it with abundance and life. TBC replaces it with abundance and life. We all deserve a very, very happy, joy-filled life. We all deserve to wake up every morning and just love being alive. We all deserve every day, all day long, to just do what we absolutely enjoy doing. Whether it's, spending a half a day at the beach and the other half maybe doing, some helping out a neighbor or working or whatever. It was never, ever meant to be that we were supposed to be busy every day just to barely get by. That was never, ever intended. That ain't life, guys. That is just not life. So we have we have gotten involved, as far as I can tell, the most powerful tool to change those odds and to give us that life back that we deserve, that we're here to enjoy. The tool with the biggest advantage, I would say, is right here. We have it. But now it's up to us to build the economy. Now, to do that, we've got to get our minds together, and we got to get thinking about things. And I don't know how you think about it. I think that it is very valuable for us to literally shut down all the momentum of our thinking for at least a few minutes each day, and simply go deep within our mind and ask, what is the best way to proceed? How can we move forward in the most efficient way with the least, how should I say, with the least amount of screw ups? Because that's really all it is when we are when we're putting in a lot of effort, and all we can seem to do is hit brick walls, as it were. That means we haven't gone within to see, to get direction as to what we need to do. You know, there is tremendous power when you come up against an obstacle, whatever it is. Every time there is a problem, we need a solution. But here's the thing: we are programmed by the way we have been brought up, and the polarity that we are faced with around us every day. Matter of fact, it's basically the general energy that we're surrounded in. It is not the natural energy. That's not what I'm talking about. The natural energy is completely neutral and pure. Okay? But the energy that is being generated by the society that we live in, okay, is that of lack and of limitation and blaming others and helplessness. All of those things, that is the energy that we live in. That's what we're surrounded by. In order to be free and to achieve that which we want to achieve and to really help humanity, we need to go inside. You know, there's a guy that puts it this way. He says the only way out is in. The only way out is in. What does that mean? That means we need to find the wisdom from within, inside of ourselves. And I know people, many people, they have the idea, which I did too for many years, that there's a God out there somewhere that we can pray to, and we can, sure, we can. I mean, there is no place where God is not. There isn't any place. But here's the point, guys. Anytime that you are looking outside of you, if you're looking outside of you for guidance and for strength and anything like that, you are not empowering yourself, because the power is within you. There is that same God that is out there, he's also in here. And everything, every thought that you generate, okay, every thought that you generate needs to be guided by this power. And that power needs to be in you so that you can generate those thoughts. Does it make sense? Does that make sense? See, I think I've said it before. We shortchange ourselves very often because of we think that we are very limited. The truth is that there are no limits. There are no limits except for the ones that exist in our mind. We are only limited by our own thinking. That's the only limits we have. So let's not focus on any problems. See, that is one of the things is that we do by nature. not by nature. Sorry, that's not correct. That is not our nature, but that is the polarity that we are surrounded with, and therefore that is has become our polarity that we actually need to free ourselves from. And it's this: anytime that we want to achieve something and we hit an obstacle, then we are looking at that as a problem, and we are thinking of it as a problem, and anything that you put your energy into grows bigger. So when you look at a problem and you're seeing it as a problem, you are creating more of that problem. You are energizing that problem to become bigger. Okay? So let's forget about the problem. See, that's one of the first things to do. As soon as you hit an obstacle, uh, instantly think of yourself as the solution to it and look at it as an opportunity, because that's what it really is. It's an opportunity for two things. It's an opportunity for you to show your wisdom and your power, and it's an opportunity also for you to learn, because every obstacle has a solution. Far too often we walk away from that obstacle thinking it's a problem, and that we can't really see how we're going to overcome this problem, and we end up walking away from it and doing something else. But that doing that, we have kind of handed our power over to that problem, and now we're walking away and doing something else. And now I would just like to shed a bit of light on as to what we are doing next, because because if you walk away from a problem without overcoming it, you had this great idea and you walk away from it, then you have handed your power away, and now you're thinking that now you're going to do something else, and that's where you're going to overcome. But you're going to run into a problem again. That is an absolute given. If you did not overcome the problem last time, you're not going to overcome it this time either, unless you change your thinking. Unless we change our thinking, we will not overcome it again, and that will lead us to the next thing. Okay, how far, how often are we going to do this until we're going to learn that we must overcome it? Because quite frankly, each one of the problems that we encounter, it's the same problem. The problem is that we're giving up. That's the problem. We're looking at it as a huge problem, and then we give up, and now we haven't accomplished anything. We have put who knows how much energy into it, and then we give up. Okay, now here's what I have found is a tremendous help. When you come up against a problem, and instantly stop fighting with it, because that's the first thing that you want to do, is you because very often we want to do it quick, we want to whatever, and so we want this solved, we want to solve it right now, and well, it doesn't work, and then we either dwell on it, or we but it's too big of a problem. Well, let's let's turn away from it instantly, right away. Give it up. Don't look at it as a problem. Instead, be right away, accept it and be thankful for it. Literally be thankful for it, and then look for a solution. Because when you want, and it doesn't matter how big the problem is, when you look for a solution, you simply calm yourself and you think, you go within and look for a solution. And it might not come right away. And you do it again the next day, or maybe a couple times a day, you do it again. When it crosses your mind, oh yeah, there's that problem. How am I going to overcome that problem? Well, right away, turn away from it as being a problem and look for the solution inside. Amazing. Amazing. You will have an answer so clear and so amazing. It's, well, I don't know, but I'll have to leave the rest with you, because if you practice that, I all I can tell you, it's amazing what you can, the ideas that come to you as to how to overcome. It really is. All right, so in the beginning, I mentioned that this is a hangout for spreading the wealth of TBC and free energy. So TBC, last year, it was shortly after I joined TBC community in July. I don't know at what point in July, but it was in July. Okay. I had, after I got involved, I was very, very interested in getting some extra TBC. It took me a little bit to do that. But the next thing I knew, I did buy some. I bought some first, I believe, with PayPal. Then I bought some with Bitcoin, and then I don't know. Anyway, I bought on a few occasions that I bought some. And the next thing that happened was that I think the first transaction, it went through, and so I had some, and then none of the other transactions, TBC ended up with a backlog, and the transactions they just didn't go through. And I'm not sure how long it took. I think it was from July, August, September. I believe it was at least September. I think it was at least September until finally, some more of the transactions worked out. Now, actually, there was only, I think I had received one, and then there was a couple of them that I think they actually got canceled. I can't quite remember all of it, but none. Suffice it to say that I had that it was at least September until finally I did get the other coin. Now, I dealt with a great. She was a very a very good leader that I bought it from. See, I actually signed up directly under admin because I wasn't referred by anyone. But so I made her my upline then in the Kringle's back office, and because she was helping me out and stuff. So the thing of it is this: in November, we had an announcement. We had announcements on the blog that there was going to be a cookie rewards program. I hadn't heard about it before. if it did exist before, then I wasn't knowledgeable of that. Because at first I really didn't read the blog. I didn't. I had a full-time job, and my job was an hour away. I had to drive an hour, morning and evening, of course. So my regular 10-hour job was took me 12 hours away from home per day. So I didn't really, get very much else done. But what happened then in November, it was just phenomenal, because we got the cookie rewards program, and when I started noticing, or when I added up what it was going to do for me, it was just I just, wow, can this even be real? you know and so but that came in December. I was able to redeem my cookies. We were able to confirm all the transactions and everything. And I was just, I couldn't believe how blessed I was with so much, so incredibly much. And it took me a while until I started realizing, with this kind of money, there is so much we'll be able to do in the world. There are so many people we can help. This really got me excited, and I still am. I still am. Now, I realize that while we're building this new economy, we do have this, should we say, obstacle of not being able to merge with the fiat system. It doesn't work. We can't do that. We cannot allow the debt-based system to have any hooking onto the TBC system to pull it into the into that the debt-based legal system. So we must stay clear of that. So so where was I? Oh yeah, then came after Christmas, shortly, not very long after Christmas, I made a decision to quit my job and just do TBC. Now, it was a bit of a struggle at first, but it's beginning to work out much better. TBC is really an awesome thing. Even now, there is already so much money to be made with TBC, and that's really where it's at right now. That we can turn it into a fiat. We can get the fiat money that we need by getting other people involved, and as they want to add some TBC to their, to their money, so that they will have good abundance when we reach the the ultimate price of the coin. It is really amazing what we can accomplish there. So okay, so now again, we are in that time now where again we can redeem the cookies. Of course, we have the migration going on right now as well, which really which right now, dealing with people, we've got to have, we can send, I think we can still send, or is that off already? I don't even know for sure now. I better do some more digging on the blog, because this is something I'm not sure of, whether we can still send from an old wallet to an old wallet, an 04, or is that off already? I'm not quite sure. But we cannot send from an 04 to an 09. So so that is something we've got to then migrate first, and then we will be on the new system in order to send from an 09 wallet. Am I saying that correct? A 09, a 009. Yeah, it's a TBC 009 wallet. TBC009.net. Okay, so yeah, that'll be the new wallet. So at this point, I'm still looking for a few transactions to confirm. I bought a couple of vehicles a while ago, and those transactions, they haven't confirmed yet, because that was right at the time where our system kind of didn't quite keep up again. So now, but with the new system, it's amazingly fast. It is totally capable to have very, very many transactions per second. So it is we are really moving forward on this amazingly. So if you're watching this as a person who walked away from TBC when we were having technical problems, well, now we have overcome those problems, and we are now right now migrating to the new wallet. Many of the members are on the new wallet already, on the new system. I'm not quite yet, but I will be. And many people are now in migration, right? So we will have that new system up soon, or the new system is up. Sorry, I mean we will all be migrated. That is actually, we have another 2 months yet for that to complete. We have another not 15 days anymore, but we do have another 13 days, I believe it is, that we have left for to be able to for the cookie rewards, to claim the cookie rewards. Okay, so that is still another 13 days left, about 13, I think it is. No, it won't be 13, because we are 7. That's only about 7 is 14, 15. It's only 11 days. Not even 11. 8. 7 and 8 is 15. That's correct. 8. Wow. I must have learned my math in public school or something. Okay, so so that is where we're at now, folks. And now is a very good time to come back, because we are moving forward fast. And there are many things that we are already beginning to do in the world. Well, at this point, I don't know if there's any very large projects that are being tackled, but we are very, very close to getting to that. And I had this idea about the free energy units. Now, if you want to know what I'm talking about, if you go on YouTube and look for SER generator, type in SER generator, you know what I'm talking about. You'll be able to, huh? SEG. Sorry, SEG. Yes, it's Searle effect generator, SEG. So that is what you type in, and that will give you a good idea what I'm talking about. Because I know there's somebody building generators where you pedal, and maybe if you want to exercise every day, maybe that's a good way to get your exercise. I'm not here at all to run down what somebody else builds. I think that's, that for people who want it, it's a great idea. But I just know that that there are very many people that would not do that, because if your freezer, your fridge, everything that you are running uh, simply, depends on you pedaling every day for an hour. I cannot see that being the option for most people. Uh, I can sure see it for some, of course. But what I'm talking about is not just a scarcity idea. It's not something that you pedal every day for an hour, and then you very careful that you don't use too much. Otherwise, you'll have to go pedal again. See, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about units that produce 15 kilowatts of power 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There are no parts on it to wear out. It runs. It is not a solar panel. It doesn't have to be in the sun. It can be in the house. It is quiet. It's not very noisy. The energy, it just being in the house where this thing runs is a healthy place, because the energy it generates is in harmony with nature. There's a very, very big difference between having an energy that is in harmony with nature, or versus having energy that is contrary to that. Now, I could um, well, let me just say this. John Searle, he had made a few units like that back in the 50s, right? And one of his friends got cancer. So he gave him one of those units. What do you think happened? You think the cancer went away? Yeah, it did. It did. Because the unit literally generates energy that is in harmony with nature. And the truth is that it actually does not generate it like a normal generator generates it. These things do not. They actually only extract it from the atmosphere where the energy already is, and makes it a usable current to use. All right. That is how these things work. Now, here's what I did. When I got that idea, I was out on a walk while I because I had been thinking about this for quite a few days. I thought about it, and I wasn't sure. Like, I'll tell you what I was thinking about. I wanted something that would work, that people already need, that almost every person needs, that I could combine with TBC, so that when I introduce this, whatever this was going to be, that I could, bring TBC right alongside with it and show them how they can pay for part of whatever that was going to be. And I was out on a walk, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, it just came to me, and I thought, if there was any neighbors that watched me walking by, they were probably wondering, what is this crazy nut up to? Because I literally stopped, and I got so excited, because this was so the answer to what I had been looking for. Because I could just see the picture like this. Here we are, these Searle effect generators. I had seen them, so I knew what they were, and I could just see the making these. And of course, right away, I knew this has to be done in stealth mode. And so I thought, yeah, we start in several countries at the same time, start building them. And so they'll start showing up. in the people in the poorest countries first, where people need it, where they don't have power and stuff. It's all good, it's all legitimate and everything. But by the time they show up here in Canada and stuff, there will be so many of those units that it's not something they can just stomp out. Okay? By that time, there will be so many millions of people having them that it's not, that it won't be something they can just go and put a stop to. See, that's what got me so excited. And these units, they take care of the heating bill and the electricity bill. That's what they'll do financially. They'll make those ugly power lines obsolete that are out there. All those ugly big windmills that are out there. All those solar fields, solar farms that are out there. All of that is going to be obsolete because none of that will be needed. And besides, this will be something that people just have themselves. It's their own, and you power your house with it. End of story. So that's what got me excited about this. Now, what I did is I made it so, or I thought, here's a good way to do it. I would make it so that the energy units that I would you know, replace half of the donation if people donate for the crowdfunding or for the initial. And the only reason I want that is because I don't have the fiat money to do it myself. And so I figured I would meet the I would meet it 50%. But what admin is going to come up with now is with the way it's going to be with buying TBC. And then I thought, well, what am I going to do then? Well, I'll meet it 100%. I'll meet it 100%. It's not that I don't have enough money to do this project, to just go and do it. I have in TBC, I have plenty. I have plenty, but I don't have the fiat to do it. Now, if I can get people to fund, people who want to buy TBC anyway, well, they could fund my project, and I send them the equivalent amount in TBC. Well, now you've helped my project, and you've got the TBC you want. I think that is a total win-win. It's the only way I see it, right? So anyhow, that is the offer that I'm going to have out there. So for people who want to buy more TBC, and if they can see the value in this project, well, then just connect with me, and we can definitely we'll get that going. All right. So I don't know how long I've been on. Oh, I've been on 30 minutes by now. 48. Yeah. So so again, I want to make sure those who are watching this video, who are, if you're not in TBC, I'm here to help you. If you want to get involved with the project, with the free energy project, and you want TBC, I have links below that will give you the information. And by all means, do not be shy to contact me about any questions that you have about anything I've talked about. Okay? So be very willing, very ready to contact me. I do not mind, you know. So again, let me just encourage those of you who don't seem to spend time reading in the blog, that you do that. Just do. And if you're new, if you're a new coming to TBC, let me just tell you right up front, it's a great idea to read that blog. You know, go through the information, because you will learn so much. And also, again, if you have any questions about TBC or anything, feel free to contact me. I'd be happy to answer anything that you need. If it's about TBC, I'll probably refer to the blog. and give you the answer that you need. But nonetheless, feel free to contact me. Again, thank you very much, everyone. Let me just see what everybody has talked about here. I don't know. Romeo, thank you so much for. Oh, by the way, Romeo, this will answer your question that you had, right? You emailed me a while ago about that. I think that'll. I think that'll help you know that we are actually right back on track with that. Then.
He's building something. It says.
Okay. Huh?
He's building something so he has less electricity bills.
Okay. And next, okay, Marjorie, thank you for being here, hanging out with me here. Thank you. Brian, thank you so much for hanging out with me again. And Romeo, and Brian, and Bitcoin Scott, thank you so much also for hanging out with me. Again, I don't know how to pronounce that name. How would you pronounce that name? The name Moussa. Musa or something? Yeah. Okay, Musa Tess, thank you very much as well for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. Lucy Brown, again, you're here. That's great. Thank you. And who else? Lucy Brown, it's been 7 days. Oh yeah, thanks, Lucy. You helped me with my math there. Okay. Thank you. All right, and now we got Romeo said that is what I am building. So, so Romeo, you building one of those free energy machines, or like the Searle generator? Because that would be really, really awesome if you find a way to magnetize those magnets, because that's not an easy thing. I'm sure the rest of it is easy to do, but not the magnetizing. That is pretty difficult. Actually, you know what? I don't want to look at it as being very difficult, but it is very, very precise. Has to be done very precisely. All right, so that is what I am building. So I have less electricity bills, so I can donate to the SEG generator. Thanks. Yeah, that's great. That's awesome, Romeo. And now, of course, when you do, I'll be sending you the full amount in TBC. You know, the full amount that you buy. It'll be the same thing as buying TBC. Okay. So awesome, John. That's great. All right. So yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it that you're hanging out with me. And let's go ahead and build a wonderful world, a world that we can all enjoy and thrive in. That is my goal. Thank you so much. Peace.